Alright, and we are live. How's it going, you guys? Will Nardi for RSBN, streaming right outside of the White House, where there's a little bit of a kerfuffle going on. As you can see, when Trump just pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement, every liberal within a 2-mile radius suddenly decided that they were going to show up and cause a commotion. Let's find out what's going on. As you can see, that is their battle cry. Definitely been perfect. Less water consumption. Looks like mostly the kind of standard stuff that you would find in one of these things. Let's see. Let's go, Al Gore. Ooh, CNN is here. There is no planet Covfefe. No climate change, really? We'll always have Mars. These are awesome.
Who's the head of their international climate program from the Natural Resources Defense Council.
Thank you all for coming out.
Less pollution, more solutions. Moms for Clean Air Force. Cool. I don't know what sign that is. Cool. Oh, now there's this guy. Let's see. Keep drinking the snake oil. Trump's presidential snake oil from the pipelines to you. Huh. Wonder how you get that job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As you can see, George Soros spared no expense in this protest, and we have plenty of people here to come and spread the movement.
Not listen to that man. What we're going to need to do is make sure that we're mobilized, that we're getting cities, that we're getting states, that we're getting companies to move forward. We're going to have to work to get other countries to move forward, and we're going to have to make sure that we're all in this moving forward. So are you with me? Are you in?
Thank you, Jake. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Heather Coleman. I almost called her Heather Kaplan because I've known her before she got married. And she is from Oxfam America. Heather! Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? So, I represent Oxfam. We are an organization that represents, that deals with humanitarian issues and hunger and poverty all over the world. And this president just turned our climate into a reality TV show. Yes. Is that okay? No! This president just gave the final rose to fossil fuel.
All right. So, a few points I want to make here, which is that the entire thing of this movement is that the Earth is going to suddenly disappear or it's been warming. I mean, personally, I think it's a beautiful day outside. I was gardening. I just planted some daylilies. I have a tan. I'm doing pretty good. So, how exactly did the whole end of the world climate change thing start? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. You heard it here, folks. The first new chant of the Paris Climate Change Agreement, where they are once again trying to fire Trump. Too bad they cannot. Excuse me.
To the ridiculous, reckless loser who just made this outrageous decision in that White House, which, frankly, he can't do until after the election. You can give notice right now. This doesn't take effect until after we voted Trump or whoever succeeds him in this term out of office. There are three things. There are three things that we need to do. And the first is to make sure that it is clear that Trump stands alone, that he does not represent this country, that he does not represent our people, that he does not represent us. That business advisory council includes some of the CEOs of the biggest companies that depend on our dollars. Elon Musk and Tesla have already announced stepping down in protest.
Would you be up for an interview from RSBN? Just kind of explain what's going on here.
You should talk to him, actually.
Would you be up for an interview?
This is not
Okay, cool. So, my name is Will Nardi. Yeah, dude. So, just new media. So, can you give us sort of like what's going on here? This is for the Paris Agreement?
Yeah, it's in response to President Trump backing out of the Paris Climate Agreement. It's a huge mistake. It alienates us on the geopolitical scale, and it sets us up for failure in the future in regards to our competitive status in the energy market. I mean, President Trump's basically selling out emerging technologies for antiquated and outdated technologies like coal, which do nothing but pollute our atmosphere and hurt the people who collect it.
So what was the agreement originally doing?
The agreement is to help reduce overall global emissions by between 20 and 25% by 2030. It's very important that we start taking steps because we're already too late in responding to climate change.
Okay. So, has he made any mention of doing something else besides this? Or
Oh yeah, I mean he's said that he wants to re-enter the agreement under different terms, but I mean France, Germany, and Italy already said that have issued a statement saying that renegotiation of the Paris Climate Agreement is not on the table. I mean it's the idea of a man who doesn't understand geopolitics. I mean that's something that like I know as an uneducated like a regular Joe, that the man who apparently is leading our country does not know, that he can't just sort of do whatever he wants in the international stage. He's not the president of the world.
It's definitely a fair point. So basically, like, so this is going to have its impact on climate change, but also economically it's going to be bad?
Absolutely. I mean, short term, he talks about it impacting growth in certain job sectors, which, I mean, is certainly something that needs to be discussed and should be moderated well. But if we're turning our backs on green energy, then we're not putting ourselves forward in a good position for the changing energy future. I mean, solar and wind and hydroelectric are technologies that we can't afford to not invest in on a large scale. I mean, China is adding 13 million jobs because of their Paris climate change, like the changes they're making to be in accordance with the Paris Agreement. And that's something that we could really use in the United States. I mean, he talks about wanting to bring back jobs. Like, why not green energy jobs? Why not set our children up for what is inevitably going to be our energy future instead of just dragging behind the rest of the world? That's just not competitive. It's not a good idea.
Definitely a fair point. But I appreciate your time and thank you for the interview.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
See, I like when like people really just give like a nice argument about it, and even though like that guy was like saying like, hey, you know, I'm not like a scientist, at least, you know, he had some sort of an understanding of what was going on. Still disagree with him, but let's see who else we can talk to and let's get some different perspectives on it.
That's right. We need you to use the power of love and bring in all of your friends and all of your family into this movement, because our lives depend on it and our children's lives depend on it. We just want to say thank you so much for coming out today. I'll say on behalf of the Sierra Club and all of us here who've been speakers, thank you so much. Stay active. Thank you for coming.
Alright, you guys, you heard it here first. The Paris Climate Change Agreement, the reaction from the liberals, as to be expected. And basically, I just have a few random questions. I mean, if any of you are not really too versed on the whole climate change thing, the two biggest counter arguments to it is one, if you're really going to be taking it seriously, it's going to be affecting jobs, it's going to be affecting any of your miners and your oil drillers, things like that. But the whole biggest thing is understanding whether or not it's really affecting us as much as they claim that it is. There's the whole greening effect, which happens when there's an increase in temperature, which increases your green life, your plant life, your foliage, which increases the oxygen cycle of the plant, so you're actually putting more oxygen into the atmosphere with a warmer climate, so that's widely been debunked. Then you have studies from the Heartland Institute which show that CO2 emissions really are not becoming any larger than they have over the past thousands of years, that they don't match up with temperatures that show that when there's more CO2 in the atmosphere, there's no increase in temperature. In fact, the line trend is just completely off. So the whole fact of the matter is that when it comes to CO2 emissions, that is not the reason why we're having climate change. And obviously the climate is changing. It's whether or not it's caused by man is the question here, and how many trillions of dollars are we going to have to pay to make it a little bit cooler outside. I mean, I think the air conditioner industry would love this. JK, it actually wouldn't. But the fact of the matter is that it is beautiful outside here in DC. I love tanning, and I mean, why would we spend trillions of dollars just because it's a little bit hot outside? So another whole Al Gore scheme, another whole George Soros scheme. I mean, I just love the fact that every time I come out here, you see the whole refugee camp. It's Gay Pride Month in DC, so that's on top of it too. And pretty much everything that's going on. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everyone for the shout outs. And it was amazing. I even saw a guy coming up here saying that he was Catholic and that he was saying, God wants us to take care of the earth and this is bad for the earth. I mean, just like, come on, dude. First of all, why are you trying to mix religion and politics? Why are you trying to make people think that if you're Catholic, you have to be on top of the whole liberal climate change debacle? That's just wrong. First of all, like, yes, we're supposed to take care of the earth, but we're supposed to tend to it, but that doesn't mean that what we're doing with fossil fuels is causing climate change. It's certainly degrading the air quality for sure. That's just a fact that air quality is a thing. And that's something that has to be taken into consideration. But when you're talking about a couple polar bears are getting a little hot, like, come on, this is absurd. I wish that all of these people would do something more constructive. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for listening into the stream and for everyone checking this out. You can check out my show Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, The Thinker, right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network and Rouser News Network. And love you guys so much. Take care, and you have a great night. God bless.